Today we're going to look at creating parallax in an animated scene. Now parallax is the illusion created when the objects in the foreground move past the viewer faster than the objects in the background, and it gives an effect of depth. So we're going to create that in our scene here. This is a scene that I've created from my Paint on Safari scenes. So I'm just going to open that up, and it is a purple column, so it's a sub-X sheet. So that means that I've already collapsed this into a sub-X sheet. That tree there is part of the scene. So we're just going to put some layers onto this. I'll just go find some here, and we're just going to build the scene up. Start with a bit of grass or a strip of grass right at the front. Okay, before we do that, let's just trim the walk cycle here of this painter. He goes off on a walk and then he turns around and walks back. So let's just trim that, and then we can have a look at it on the stage schematic. You see, it's basically just, we've got the grass now and the purple sub-X sheet. That's all there is now. The painter walk and the tree is in the sub-X sheets. So the tree we're not going to mess with. That's already been set up. I've taken all the other stuff out, so we're just going to build that back up. Let's start with the grass in the foreground, and we can just set it up so that it's moving quite fast past the painter, like that. And I'll bring in a bit of grass that we can put in the background here, just in front of that tree or just behind the painter. And we can start that a little bit more to the left so that it moves a little bit slower than this grass in the foreground. Might have to adjust that a few times until we get it right. And you can see the foreground grass is moving a little faster than the background grass. At the end here, we just want the painter to pause, so we can just go and clip the end off there and just copy those last frames and just make them pause. Bring in another level. This is a road level. I think we can flip this, so just put a negative in the scale there on the horizontal. Flip it horizontally, and then we can scale it down and place it. And then we can move it along on its horizontal axis just so that it's moving with the painter, or it's got the illusion. The painter's almost standing still. He's moving a little bit to the left of the scene, and the tree's moving in the background a little to the right. This, as I say, is all in the purple sub-X sheet, so it's all set up that way. We just need to move the road beneath his feet so that it looks realistic. And that's a shadow, if you're wondering what that thing is below him there. That's actually a shadow that's all set up there. So let's bring in some bushes, and we'll bring in 3 layers of bushes and just drag them down to 225, and then we can bring them to the foreground here. And these bushes, to get that effect of parallax, we need to move the bushes from left to right a little faster than the grass in the front there. So we set that up to move faster, and then we can drag another one in front of that one and maybe scale it up a little bit. And this one's going to move even faster than the bushes before it. We're just going to the beginning to frame 1, and we're going to frame 225, or actually not 225, just short of 225. We're going to frame 204 where everything stops. So we're just putting 2 keys on each layer here. And once we set that one up, we can pull in the 3rd layer of bush here, and we can scale that up, and we can make that move horizontally even faster than the previous one. So as you come towards the camera here, the layers are moving left to right faster than the one behind it. That's the basic setup you want to get with parallax. We can go and insert some background here as well. So you're just going to insert some hills into the background, and we need to drag that down to 225 and then set it up. The background here, because it's so far away, isn't going to move as much as everything else. It's not going to move as much even as that tree in the background there. So it's a very slight movement. You'll hardly see it move. And then we can also bring in a sky layer. So insert another column, and we can bring in a layer for the sky and set that up. Drag it down to 225, make it fill those frames, and then we can go and play with this. I'm going to insert another layer of grass here. I just want to put it up in front of this tree, although we can't because the tree is part of the same layer that the painter is on the sub-X sheet, so we won't be able to put this in front of it unless it goes in front of the painter. So let's just work with what we have here now. Let's go into the camera layer and let's go set that up. It's set to camera 1 and it's not moving the right camera. So let's go and see which camera is set up in the stage schematic. pull that up, and there's camera 1 there, and we can go right click and activate that camera. Right, okay, now it's selected that frame, the correct camera, and we can just drag that over the painter like that and go into camera view and play it out, and it's tracking with the painter there nicely. Okay, at the end there's a bit of a mess, so let's just go and at frame 204 on the camera column, let's just go and scale it down a bit, and then we can probably bring it back a bit as well so that we don't see all that stuff on the end there that isn't filled. And I see the sky there at the back now, it doesn't fill, so we need to bring the sky back a little. You see how the sky is moving there to the left? We need to go and fix that up, so let's just see which layer it is, that one there. So let's bring it back on the horizontal at the end there, and it probably needs a little bit more as well. Bring it back a little bit. Whoops, wrong one, wrong layer. Yeah, and that's starting to look better. Maybe what we need to do is just go and add another bush layer, a layer of bush here. So let's just go and drop one in there. Okay, once again, we can't put it, you see how it's going in front of the painter there, and when we have it in front of the tree, it goes in front of the painter. That's because they're on the same sub-X sheet, which is effectively like a level. So to break them up, we'd have to go into that sub-X sheet and just extrude them. Maybe that's what I should have done here, to be honest. But I just want to drop a layer of bush in there. It's not going to be in front of that tree trunk, we can't do it. But just drop it there so that, yeah, around about there. Maybe move that layer of grass up. Okay, not ideal. I should have extracted the sub-X sheet, to be honest. Get the tree out of it and separate it. Let's play it out. Yeah, that's good enough just to show this. There's a key right at the end here in this column here, so let's just go find it there and delete it. And let's have a look now. Yeah. Okay, so you can render that out, and there is our parallax. You can see the layers in the front moving from the left to the right faster than all the layers at the back, and it gives you that illusion of depth, which is effectively what you're getting from parallax. Great, that's it. Please go check out my Animating with OpenToonz, where I show how to do this and a whole lot more. We build up a couple of scenes here in the course. It's a lot of fun, and I'd love you to check it out and join the course. And of course, if you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe, and please go and join my emailing list that's growing. I send out an email every month now. And otherwise, thanks very much for joining me, and I hope I'll see you around here again. Happy animating there. All the best. Bye.